Today, we will be pitting the new iPhone 15 Pro Max against the previous model, the iPhone 14 Pro Max. The new iPhone will be remembered for the switch to a USB-C port and its new periscope camera, but if you don't care about these things, the 14 Pro Max still sounds like a great device. Apple may not sell you the one-year-old iPhone 14 Pro Max directly, but it is still available across various retailers, so you may be wondering if you can save me cash and get this one instead. If that is the case, you are at the right place. Let's find out. Let's begin by comparing the complete specs sheets. Size comparison. Apple iPhone 15 Pro Max. Weight is 221 grams, 159.9 times 76.7 x 8.3 millimeters, 630 x 3.02 times 0.33 in, and Apple iPhone 14 Pro Max. Weight is 240 grams, 160.7 times 77.6 x 7.9 millimeters, 633 x 3.06 times 0.31 in. The iPhone 15 Pro Max is a hair shorter and narrower compared to the 14 Pro Max due to the thinner screen bezels. But the much larger difference is that it's almost 20 grams lighter because of the new build. The titanium frame is lighter compared to the stainless steel used on the 14 Pro Max. The frame's edges are also rounder, and because of these changes, the new 15 Pro Max feels much lighter and less bulkier than the older model. Other than that, the two iPhones have identical designs. They both offer flat frames and flat glass sides with a notably huge camera housing. The titanium models have less attractive monochrome-like paint jobs, while the 14 Pro Max can be bought in purple, silver, gold, or black. The iPhones are marketed for their ceramic glass shield atop the display, which was developed together with Corning. Both devices have that, along with identical Gorilla Glass panels on the back. The latest tests show that the 14 Pro Max and the 15 Pro Max have equally tough glass panels, refuting the claims for a weaker build on the 15 Pro Max. It always comes to pure chance, of course, which one falls, well, better on the ground. Aesthetically, both flagships are incredibly good-looking, though the lighter body is a welcome improvement. Display comparison. Apple iPhone 15 Pro Max. 6.7 inches. OLED. 120Hz 1-90x2796 pixels 460p, and Apple iPhone 14 Pro Max. 6.7 inches. OLED. 120Hz 1-90x2796 pixels 460p. Both iPhones appear to have identical OLEDs, and they are definitely among the best on the market right now. The iPhone 15 Pro Max has the brighter display, but it beats the 14 Pro Max by a tiny weeny bit. 1787 nits vs 1760 nits in auto mode and 846 nits vs 828 nits with manual control. Both screens offer incredibly accurate color calibration. Both iPhones offer supposedly impressive adaptive refresh rates. But since Apple is not transparent in its implementation, we are left to rely only on the advertised numbers. Finally, the iPhone supports both HDR10+ and Dolby Vision streaming. Battery life. The iPhone 15 Pro Max boasts an impressive 4,441 mAh battery, providing users with exceptional battery life. With a total endurance rating of 118 hours, this device is designed to last. And iPhone 14 Pro Max has on the best battery life in the market from a 4,323 mAh battery. It is said to last for 121 hours, which is a really good time for a smartphone that has all the top-end specs. The iPhone 15 Pro Max is powered by a 4,441 mAh battery, while the iPhone 14 Pro Max has a slightly smaller 4,323 mAh cell. Quite expectedly, both iPhones offer identical battery life scores. iPhone 15 Pro Max scored a total endurance rating of 118 hours, while 14 Pro Max 121 hours. The web browsing and video playback are identical, but the 14 Pro Max offered a slightly better talk time. Performance. The Apple iPhone 15 Pro Max has the best chip, a 17 Pro 3 nanometers. While the iPhone 14 Pro Max has the second best company chip, the Apple A16 Bionic. Both feature custom 6-core processors and custom Apple GPUs, with the A17 Pro having 6 cores, while the one inside A16 5 cores. Apple claims the CPU high-speed cores are 10% faster than those in the A16 Bionic. The new GPU should also be 20% faster than its predecessor in peak performance. The GPU also enables hardware-accelerated ray tracing, which is supposedly 4 times faster than the software-based ray tracing on a 16 Bionic. Charging speed. The iPhone 15 Pro Max and 14 Pro Max are officially rated for 20W fast wired charging, though in some cases, it is reported they max out at 27W. Wireless charging is up to 15W via MagSafe chargers. Apple iPhone 15 Pro Max on. 20-watt charger it gives. In 15 minutes will charge 23%. In 30 minutes will charge 46%, and full charge in 109 minutes. While Apple iPhone 14 Pro Max on. 20-watt charger it gives. In 15 minutes will charge 27%. In 30 minutes will charge 48%, and full charge in 112 minutes. Having similar batteries and charging capabilities means nearly identical charging performance, which is underwhelming but will supposedly help prolong the battery lifespan. Camera comparison. The main cameras are 48MP, while the rest ultra-wide, telephoto, selfie 12MP. The iPhone 15 Pro Max offers longer zoom range with its 5x telephoto, while the 14 Pro Max maxes out at 3x magnification. The main camera on the iPhone 15 Pro Max is better as it can shoot in 24MP, and because of that it offers more detail, less sharpening, and overall, less processed and more natural look. If set at 12MP though, the photos are completely identical on both iPhones. Naturally, the 14 Pro Max does better at 3x zoom because it has a dedicated 3x telephoto for that. Surprisingly, it does a solid job at 5x digital zoom, too, and the image is lacking just a bit in detail when compared to the 5x from the 15 Pro Max and its proper 5x camera. 4,000 screen grabs. iPhone 15 Pro Max. 0.6x, 1x, 2x, 3x, 5x. iPhone 14 Pro Max. 0.6x, 1x, 2x, 3x, 5x. iPhone 15 Pro Max. Titanium with textured, matte glass back, action button. iPhone 14 Pro Max. Stainless steel with textured, matte glass back, ring or silent switch. iPhone 15 Pro Max. USB-C supports USB 3.4, up to 20x faster transfers 4. While iPhone 14 Pro Max. Lightning supports USB 2 only. Long story short, if you can find a good deal on the 14 Pro Max and you don't care about the USB-C port and don't mind the weight of the stainless steel frame, then you should save yourself some money and get this one. If you already own one and you are happy with it, there is no real reason to upgrade. Photographers on the go will find the iPhone 15 Pro Max the better companion for its higher resolution photos, 5x optical zoom with an innovative lens, and the option to capture ProRes videos directly on an external storage. Plus, the USB 3.2 transfer speeds will be quite welcome for larger files. So choose wisely. Speaker test. The iPhone 15 Pro Max and iPhone 14 Pro Max both have hybrid stereo speaker setups with a dedicated bottom firing speaker for one channel and an amplified earpiece for the other. The channels are switched on the fly to correspond to the phone's orientation, while the earpiece gets the left channel in vertical orientation. Both phones offer equal speaker loudness. They scored very good on our test, and they both offer outstandingly rich and deep audio quality. The iPhone 15 Pro Max trumps the 14 Pro Max with a lighter body and longer 5x camera zoom. There is also a much more universal USB-C port. Get the iPhone 15 Pro Max for nicer hand feel due to the lighter body and rounded corners, the nicer 24MP photos and the better photos and videos at 5x zoom, faster A17 Pro chipset, the universal USB-C port with USB 3.2 transfer speeds and enhanced connectivity options. Get the iPhone 14 Pro Max for the arguably more luxurious look and feel, its great photo and video quality at 3x zoom and the reasonable quality at 5x. The much cheaper price, the lighting port for the convenience of sharing chargers and accessories with users of older iPhones. There is a 150 to 50 price difference between the 256GB models of the iPhone 14 Pro Max and iPhone 15 Pro Max, and about €350 between the base 256GB iPhone 15 Pro Max and the base 128GB iPhone 14 Pro Max. For more informative videos, please subscribe Info of Tech.